The night before, I was in holding in Milan Correctional Facility in the holding, and they came on the news, the talking heads. He's going to get 10 years. He's going to get 10 years. And there was breaking news. The prosecutors have breaking news, and they came on the television and they said, we're going to ask for 28 years. Now, I'm in a television room, with, all of these guys, and they was like, no, no, Kwame, no, no, big homie. And I said, no, listen, that's what they're going to give me right there. I'm going to get 28 years. They were no, no, no. When I walked in the courtroom, I stood up. The judge said, sit down, Mr. Gervis. That was my lawyer. Sit down. 28 years sounds about right to me. It was very quick. I got 28 years, and I could tell you it was nothing but the Holy Spirit. Without being super spiritual or weird, I was being kept in that moment in a way that I'd never experienced before. It was such a light feeling at that time that I had to keep myself from being joyful. And when I walked out of the courtroom, I turned to my family. They were crying. I said, no doubt, no fear. Those words came out of my belly. But when I got back to Milan and they slammed that door, I had the worst depression that I've ever experienced, the worst sadness. I knew it was serious, it was real, and I was not going to see my family for a long time. And that depression lasted about 18 months of that journey.
Did you have any reason to believe you weren't going to do every day of that 28?
I filed an appeal after appeal after appeal. I went all the way up. I filed habeas motions, but about 3 years in, after everybody said no, I needed a word from the Lord. And I received very clearly. I started working in the chapel, Mark, without going too far into the story. I just surrendered. I got on my knees when I was completely broken. My sons, my oldest sons, had left the house and were so angry with me and angry with everyone that they left the house and dropped out of school. My then wife was depressed. It was just too much going on. My youngest son was sitting in a room by himself. And I couldn't do anything for those people who don't understand the damage that it causes, not just for the person in prison, but more so for the family they leave behind. It was excruciating pain. I fell down on the floor one day after I stumbled up to the chapel. I don't know why I went there to this day, and met a guy, Bruce Smith from Yukon, Oklahoma. He looked at me and he said, big guy, do you have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ? And I said, I don't even know what that is, man. I have no idea what you're talking about. And he talked to me, and through tears and everything, I gave my life to Christ. And from that moment on that floor in El Reno, Oklahoma, everything changed in my life. And for the next 6 years, I was preaching and teaching and tutoring and writing and doing cases. I got so many people released from prison, fighting the government back on their behalf. And it just changed my life. And when I started moving, Marcus, when I started to believe that the spirit of freedom that was getting on other people was going to come around and get on me too.